The future is now.
Reeling out the numbers for you to be part of the show. Or do you want to just do that now?
Yeah, we can do that now. So, but in the course of our discussion, if you'd like to call in, that is 0700-1021-1021, or you can send a WhatsApp message or text message to 0907 224-5018. Also, you can now listen to us via our website on www.highimpactstudios.com. That's www.highimpactstudios.com. We're also on social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and on High Impact 1021 FM. You can also watch us live on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM. It's going to be an amazing morning, of course, because I have Vivian here with me. So we can dive right into it.
Absolutely. So in a short while, after the short break, we will delve into the dailies. Stay with us.
Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
All right, welcome back. Straight up to the Vanguard, and on the front page of the Vanguard here, I've got this one. It says FG's failure to make fresh offer stalls wage talks. Of course, that's the major headline. Find out on Vanguard, and this is not good news at all. Let me take that again. FG's failure to make fresh offer stalls wage talks. That's on the front page of the Vanguard. I have a number of riders. I think I should just walk you through them. The first one says, as Labour hits back at Akpabio over allegations of economic sabotage, says, and that's the Labour saying now, says real saboteurs are political elites looting, abusing power, and urges patriotic National Assembly members to disown Senate President. Also said Nigerians need living wage, not minimum wage. This is coming from the House of Representatives. And then this one here says, condemn Labour for shutting down National Grid. There's this controversy brewing right now over the shutting of the National Grid, actually. It's just like how some people didn't find it palatable that Labour was flogging people out of their offices.
And then the whole shutdown for light again.
Yes, so in some quarters it's been said that that's taking things to the extreme. But then on the other side, people are saying, hey, if you don't do stuff like this, nobody listens. Well, you want to say something to that?
I think you've said it all, really. The whole shutting down, it looks like a very hard way, like flogging people. I mean, these are adults, these are not children. So yeah, just like you said, it's quite extreme, but at the same time it's like if you don't use violence somehow, some people won't listen.
So it's different strokes for different folks. All right, I got this one here above the masthead, and it says oil price drops below budget benchmark as output stagnates. Also, this one is about the Edoguba, and it says why some politicians are angry with Obaseki. This is coming from Martins. You want to find out who Martins is? Well, just go straight up to page 7 of the Vanguard. I got a rider to this story. Igodalo's appointment appointment or a Hodalo's appointment running out of campaign ideas. This is coming from a PDP chieftain. Just grab the Vanguard and go to page 7. You find details of that juicy story. This one here says Kaduna Assembly El Rufai tango over alleged diversion of 423 billion naira. El Rufai is the former governor of Kaduna State. And now when you look at someone like El Rufai, who has a reputation as once upon a time minister of the FCT, he looks like someone that doesn't bend, that is very straight. Like I can't wrap my head around El Rufai being fingered for embezzling funds. But then who knows, right? Who knows? Well, you want to check that out, go to page 8 of the Vanguard. This one here is coming from Shetima, Nigeria's vice president, and this is what he says: Nigeria will witness positive change after sacrifice. Wow. Well, let's see how that goes though. I know a number of people that would punch their fist in the air when they hear stuff like that. Well, when you go right below the middle strip, on the front page of the Vanguard, you find this one here. Government plans 6.6 trillion naira supplementary budget to fast-track economic growth. You have a couple of riders to that story: to unbundle, commercialize TCN. ASAP recommends 20 executive orders to fast-track economy. The ASAP is a measure the federal government just came up with to reduce inflation and all of that. You want to get details of that, just grab the Vanguard and go to page 20 of that. Now this one here says U.S. lawmakers petition Biden, say Binance executive wrongfully detained by Nigeria. I got one rider to that story. Binance will face all due process on charges of severe financial crimes. This is coming from the federal government. Federal government is saying, look, I know they look Uche face right now.
No, at all.
They are saying if this guy is fraudulent, then he must face the law.
Yeah.
It goes to show that nobody's above the law. Ideally, that is what is said. But is that really what plays out in real life?
Not really.
Well, this one for sports lovers. Look who's here is the caption. And it says, the writer to that story says, Lookman's arrival excites Eagles. Awesome. Page 30 is where you get details of that story. And that's about it on the front page of the Vanguard.
And still on the newspaper review, moving on to the Punch newspapers. On the front page, it says minimum wage. Finance Minister submits templates to Tinubu today. That's a yay.
It is. I agree with you.
Yay.
This is really hitting the ground running.
Yep. And here, Owen Rider says tripartite committee awaits template to resume negotiation 2 p.m. on Thursday, which is today.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that, to what the outcome is going to be later on. So if you want to get that, that is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Also, right here at the top on page 2, Tinubu may suspend import duties on food and drugs. Tinubu may suspend import duties on food and drugs. Also on page 29, we can find here that Senate okay 60 million naira salary for CJN, Supreme Court justices. That's on page 29. And of course, if you're looking for on page 19, that's Heritage Bank. NDIC goes after 700 billion naira loan defaulters and lists 2.3 million depositors. So if you're looking for all of that, those news, that's on page 2, 29 and 19 respectively. Also, still on the front page right here, we see that customs intercepts 3.9 billion naira pangolin scales in Kebbi. That's on page 4.
This pangolin scales is big business. You know the pangolin, right? That's scary.
It's an animal
looking, mammal. With long tails and scales.
Yeah.
Now the business is big.
Oh wow. So like they kill it?
Yes, they kill it. And in fact, environmentalists are really, really on this case. They say,
Wow.
stop killing the pangolins so they don't go extinct.
Extinct.
And then if you go to some Asian countries, it is what's it called, a delicacy.
Huh.
And then they use some they use some parts for medicinal, stuff and all of that. But the thing is, the illegal wildlife trade that surrounds
Just looking at
pangolin.
and just killing them anyhow.
Absolutely. I know a number of environmentalists who have conservationist centers, conservation centers to protect these, endangered species like the pangolin.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen that animal before. The first time I saw, like, wow, is there an animal that actually looks like this? And now,
and this is a good topic, though, considering that yesterday was the World Environment Day. Now, you have, when you talk about biodiversity, let's say animals have their place in the ecosystem.
Exactly.
There's a reason why you have.
why they have them, balancing the whole ecosystem and all of that.
Absolutely.
So God knows the kind of what's more they can do for the ecosystem, and now
True.
the whole killing of them, that's serious. So if you want to get more news on what we just spoke about, that's on page 4, still on the Punch newspaper. And also on page this is page 3, we find that 413 billion naira bribery, Ganduje to get charges through newspapers.
Through newspapers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, you just want to go get details of that. What did you say the page was
Page
again?
3 of the Punch newspaper. $413,000 bribery. Ganduje to get charges through newspapers.
But that's the one that gets me, through newspaper. So that's how he's going to be told.
Then-
I probably will go get details of that story.
Definitely. So on page 5, still on the Punch newspapers, 25 suspected killers of Oyo Varsity student arranged. So that's on page 5. 25 suspected killers of Oyo Varsity student arraigned. If you want to also get more news on crude supply shortage, foreign investors may dump 20 modular refineries. That's on page 19. That's all we have on the Punch newspapers for this morning.
Now, I've got the Daily Trust, and it's unusually packed, I'm telling you.
It's usually just one piece and
Yes.
then you go and delve into
I'm
the rest.
telling you, but today it looks busy. So let's get right into it, yeah? On the front page of the Daily Trust now, I have this one. Northern Senators McBan reject bill restricting herders movement. I got 3 riders. I'm going to read all of them. This one says proposed law driven by emotions. This is coming from Pastoralists. Also has this one says ranching will end our clashes with herders. This is coming from farmers. And then all Nigerians have right to live anywhere in the country. This is coming from Barao. Now this shows that there are 2 sides to this problem. I was going to say 2 sides to this wahala. Now, the herders farmers clash is something that has been raging on in Nigeria
For a very long
for
time.
so long, and it seems they are not even coming to an agreement. There's no compromise, the way I'm saying it. Once upon a time, the outgone administration and President Muhammadu Buhari had tried to introduce something called Ruga. It's like a ranching system.
Okay.
But most states, and the governors were supposed to buy into that idea, but most of the governors refused.
not.
Yeah, I don't know what really happened, whether there was the awareness wasn't much or, because the ranching system is something you have in other parts of the world.
Places.
But people felt this was like having the Fulanis colonize, certain states in Nigeria. Now it looks like the matter is even getting stronger than it used to be. And the northern senators are saying that they should reject bill restricting herders movement. They're saying allow these herders to go about, and then some farmers and some state governors are saying no, we don't want these herders in our state. So there used to be something called grazing routes, in the past, but you don't have that anymore. In fact, you want to get details of that story. you just go to page 4
Yeah.
of Daily Trust and join us at 9 today on record, where I'll be having Desmond Majekodumi. He's a renowned environmentalist, and we're going to be talking about stuff like this,
Okay.
considering that this week, the world over, the World Environment Day is being celebrated. So I'll just move on with other stories now. A court orders forfeiture of 11.14 billion naira property linked to Emefiele. You remember Emefiele, Governor Emefiele?
Oh,
Who can forget him? Former CBN governor.
yeah.
It's a lot. You see how this life, gosh, he was the king of the ring then. I mean, that
At
was.
the top,
Yes.
and all of a
But
sudden,
where is he now?
just one day.
1 second and stuff could just change. Now, this one says Kaduna Assembly indicts El Rufai aides in alleged 423 billion naira fraud. You find details of that on page 11. Also, passengers stranded as Abuja-Kaduna train derails.
Oh, wow.
That's not a good one, really. Now, above the masthead, you have the story here. It says Niger mining pit collapse, 6 rescued, 14 still trapped. Tolu, you know we talked about the
Yesterday,
story
yeah, that was yesterday.
on Tuesday. Yes. So 6 rescue operations ongoing. 6 rescued. We are glad, but 14 still
Are
trapped.
still inside.
We do hope they get every single person out of that pit.
Yeah, imagine the whole
Oh my
fear
gosh.
and
Imagine being in the pit,
inside that kind of
darkness and hunger and all of that.
I'm sure they will have injuries too.
Well, who knows? It's possible that they could get lucky and not have injuries. This is being optimistic, really. But let's keep praying that all goes well eventually. Now, this story here says Atiku, that's a former vice president, Atiku, and also, he's the serial presidential candidate of the PDP. But he's saying here now that Atiku tackles President Tinubu as federal government projects 5.4 trillion naira for fuel subsidy in 2024. Now, what are we talking about? Is a fuel subsidy coming back? You know, I had this conversation with a guest on record yesterday, Segun Shokpinto. He is a renowned economist, and he said that subsidy is the way to go. That is what people do, and it helps the masses.
Right.
And he buttressed his point and all of that. It looks like subsidy is coming back. Well, let's go to this other story. Last but not least, tarmac infrastructure more crucial to Nigerians now. This is coming from former President Olusegun Obasanjo. I'm nodding my head to this. You know what he means? Feed these people hunger. See, you're talking about building
It's the main
infrastructures,
thing.
roads, and all of that. How about these people that are hungry?
Stomach infrastructure.
Yeah, stomach infrastructure. That's what Obasanjo is saying. Remember, you don't throw away the message just because of the messenger. Yeah? Well, that's about it on the front page of the Daily Trust.
And lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, front page here is there's a huge picture right of the 1,000 naira note, and of course it's written inflation in it, and it says caution optimism as federal government unveils new fiscal deals to revive economy.
Tolu, take
Cautious
a look. Yeah, cautious
optimism.
optimism. Yes.
As federal government unveils new fiscal deals to revive economy. You were saying something.
Yeah, take a look at that picture you talked about. It's
Yeah.
it's a 1,000 naira note in a coin.
Yes, there's like a balloon top.
I think there is more to this this illustration that meets the eye.
What do you think?
Are they saying that the 1 naira note has become like the former 1 naira coin?
Hey,
Was there 1 naira coin? I know
there was
did-
1 naira, there was 2 naira,
and there was 50
there
kobo.
was 50 kobo too.
Because I'm thinking, I don't understand that we'll try to figure it out though. But
It looks very, very.
yeah, it's thought provoking.
Yes.
You
So
wanna
if
get-
you want to find that, that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. So moving on, we have on page 3, if you want to get some news on subsidy not gone as federal government confirms 5.4 trillion naira spent on petrol.
Subsidy is not gone.
Why this back and forth? Let's stay one place. Let's stay one place.
Oh my gosh.
So that news is on page 3. If you want to get more information on that, it's on the Guardian newspaper. Subsidy not gone as federal government confirms 5.4 trillion naira spent on petrol. Also on page 6, it says minimum wage talks resume as lawmakers flay labor for hard-hearted strike.
Hard-hearted. You know, you used that same word to the earlier.
Hard-hearted strike. So get more details on that on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Also on page 30, we have insecurity hampers rescue of trapped Niger miners. That's on page 4. And I have no regrets proposing full council autonomy, says Attorney General Fagbemi. That's on page 5, still on the Guardian newspaper. And also on page 30, we have news on Ranching resurrects naughty north-south sentiment in Senate. Ranching resurrects naughty north-south sentiment in Senate.
So you understand what it is now. It is now North versus South in the Senate. The Senate, this is talking about our lawmakers representing the people, and this is supposed to be a one Nigeria.
I know.
Now, because of this ranching thing, herders and farmers and all of that, there's now a division in the Senate. This thing about ethnicity has to be tackled, really.
So more of that, more on those details on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Also, on page 30, we have Kaduna Assembly indicts El Rufai for 423 billion naira graft, orders arrest.
This is news.
So if you want more of that, it's on page 30. Do you want to say something about that, Vivian?
It's news. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I'm trying to picture El Rufai being arrested. I'm trying to picture El Rufai being let me not say no. It's let me not. So I think you have more stories. You have a couple of more stories.
Yeah, there's one more here. On page 30, you can find court order substituted service on Ganduje in bribery case. Court order substituted service on Ganduje in bribery case. That is on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Yeah, that's all.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap for the first segment of the newspaper review this morning. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Are Ario will be joining us for an in-depth analysis of all the headlines we've reeled out this morning. Stay with us, and when we come back, do ensure that you're a part of the conversation as you send us your WhatsApp messages, and we'll be sure to take them. Be right back.
Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
The sea, the waves, serenity. High Impact Cruise.
Welcome to High Impact Cruise.
Yes, experience the waters of Lagos, you and your family on Eugene 1. A luxurious ultra-modern 4-story yacht, fabulous music, sumptuous meals, and an elegant, well-stocked bar with an array of exotic drinks. Call 0705 095 5987 or 0806 483 1491 for bookings and enquiry. High Impact Cruise. Dream, discover, explore.
Venue on the Sea. A perfect and top-notch location for your special social and corporate occasions. Here at High Impact Cruise, we handle your events with elegance while providing you with outstanding service. An amazing experience you will never forget. For more inquiries, call 0815-181-9580, 0818-824-5734, or visit www.highimpactcruise.com. High Impact Cruise, dream, discover, explore.
Do you know bad production can kill a great content idea? Do you want to have a photo shoot, audio production, or do you need a professional voiceover artist?
Do you simply want unmatched cinematography, video production, or just event coverage, such as weddings, birthdays, or burials?
Or do you need a space for meetings or conferences? All these are possible with High Impact Studios. Don't bring down your creativity, let's help you take it high.
And out of this world with our state-of-the-art equipment and first-class studio space.
We give you the quality you deserve at the best rate.
For more details, call 0706 393 5694 or 0915 958 1881. High Impact Studios, the future.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information,
call 0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM. Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Bringing you updates and information on safety and wellness with Safety Echo. Join us every Thursday by 10:30 on High Impact 102.1 FM for a journey into knowledge on a secure and eco-conscious living. From workplace security to road safety and many more. Discover hacks to protecting yourself while preserving the environment. Tune into Safety Echo and be part of a movement towards a safer, healthier, and greener future. Join us every week and let's make a difference together. Safety Echo is powered by KKF Foundation.
Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
Welcome back. Is a newspaper review right here on High Impact 102.1 FM. My name is Vivian Oguche, and I got with me my girl Tolu. Right now we're being joined by Aria, a friend of the house. Aria, thank you so much for being a part of the show this morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So let's hit the ground running, right? This one here says that government plans 6.6 trillion naira supplementary budget to fast track economic growth. What's your take on that?
All this budget. So far, none has reflected positively on the people. There has been no impact. And we cannot continue doing the same thing, and we do things the same way and expect a better result. I remember during one of the ceremonies of the 1 year anniversary, Mr. President said he will soon present the 2025 budget to the National Assembly. You see, how do we track government expenditure if they keep bringing budget supplement here and there? How do we know we are getting value for the people we elected? It's not the way to go. They should do things better. They should be firmer and be intentional. I mean, this is about the second supplementary budget that we are getting for this year. And we're just getting into, we're not even half of a year yet. So, this is better, things are better done in an organized fashion that will give people greater confidence, and admiration for the government. That's my take on it.
Fantastic. So I'll just read this message from one of our friends, a friend of the house. He's always sending us messages. Thank you so much. He is Nnamdi Oye from Ogba. He says, God bless God. Oh, okay. He said, God will bless you, my sister. So say amen to that. Thank you. God will bless you too. And he says, to end this new minimum wage saga between the NLC, TUC, and federal government, please, NLC, FG, that's the federal government, states, governors, and private sectors of the nation's economy should all agree on a salary of 100,000 naira per month as a new minimum wage. Although this new minimum wage salary of 1,000 naira per month, I propose will still not solve the problem of high cost of food, foodstuff, other essential imported commodities in the market, including hunger and poverty in this country, without reducing the foreign exchange to 500 to $1. And then he says, end the insecurity in the north, because the way I see the economic situation in this country, I do not think this federal government, state governors, and even the private sectors can pay this new minimum wage of more than 100,000 naira per month, not to talk of 445,000 naira per month as demanded by the NLC and TUC. As of 100,000 naira, the NLC and TUC should take it like that, because half bread is better than none. That is coming from Nnamdi Oye from Ogba. Thank you so much, Nnamdi. Aria, you want to react to that?
I need to. You see, either way, it's a catch-22 situation. We cannot afford to pay 500,000 naira as minimum wage. Neither will the 100,000 naira meet the need or the life demands of anybody or any family. I would have preferred a focused action on getting Nigeria industrialized, because our naira has become so weak now, and out there in the market, whether we like it or not, it's more like a worthless paper. And it's unfortunate, because you now go out to eat bread and mewa, the cheapest food that people were eating in those days.
Yes.
With 300 naira, you will take your bread, your beans, add meat and dodo to eat. But today, with 1,000 naira, you will struggle to have a small portion of the beans and then small loaf of bread, plus maybe if you take bottled water, 1,000 naira is gone.
So no dodo this time around.
Where? You can even try to, if you want me to bite your finger. When you look at those things, I'm concerned, because the market women are waiting out there. People who are retailers, they are waiting out there. The moment they announce any salary increase, they will suck it up. What they complain, I remember I bought a flask for my daughter about in April for 4,000 naira. Somebody stole this, was stolen from her, and day before yesterday, I went to go and replace the flask, and it was 7,500 naira. What has happened? It's not like the quality of the a flask has improved or anything, but because of the yo-yo dance of our naira against currency of other worlds, and this is caused majorly by floating the naira. You only float a national currency where there's an industrial base, where you produce and you export and you earn forex. But that's not the case with Nigeria. So for now, I've been trying to, in my own small corner, identify what we call a living wage. But I've not succeeded, because the matrices are not looking good at all. Okay? So either way, it's not going to be win-win for anybody, either for the neighbor or for the government.
So what do you think would be a fair amount? At least.
I just told you now, Vivian, you want to put a rope on my neck.
Yes. Say something. You can't say. Okay, no, I don't want to put a rope around your neck because. Okay. All right, fantastic. I hear you. I hear you. So let's quickly move on. I know Tolu has a question for you on this minimum wage saga. It's on the front page of the Punch. All right, go ahead, Tolu.
So as of yesterday, our president has been asking that the finance minister should submit a template, And as of today, on the front page of the Punch, it says that Finance Minister submits template to Tinubu today. So we are still awaiting negotiations by 2 p.m. Today, which is Thursday. So what's your take on that, sir?
Well, he has access to a couple of statistics, information, and data, which I don't have. So that may have assisted him in coming up with a template. But I can tell you, economy or governance is not about statistics. It's about people purchasing power. The question we want to ask at the end of the day is, will the template deliver purchasing power to the people? Can they put their hand in their pocket and buy their desire? Can a father going home from work, remember he has children, he wants to buy pop-up or popcorn for them? These are the challenges. For as long as the people's purchasing power remain low and weak, we're not getting anywhere. It's not about figure and statistics. And let me say this to whoever is listening. Since we started this democratic experience, we've had president, vice president, ministers, senators, red members, all of them, governors, and all. They have enjoyed the office prerequisites. But when you weigh what they have enjoyed against what they have delivered, you see that the Nigerian people have been shortchanged. We are not responsible for all the problems Nigerians have. The people who have held the levers of power have been the ones mismanaging at different points, including stealing our patrimony.
Wow. Let me quickly come in here. I have this message from John Amodu, who is also a regular listener. Thank you, John, so much. He says, "Good morning, High Impact Radio. I'm John Amodu from Ogun State. On the issue of minimum wage, we pray for a better deliberation between the parties involved. The removal of import duties on drugs and foodstuff is a good policy and must be followed up with due implementations, as I always point out, to achieve the impact of this on prices. Now, the government also needs to implement price control on foodstuff within some timeline to control the price of foodstuff in the country. On fuel subsidy, our governments are not sincere and they should know that they cannot deceive the entire populace forever. On approval of salary for chief judges is just like a waste of fun because the judiciary has lost their integrity concerning concerning justice in Nigeria. And he said many public office holders are embezzling public funds, but none has been prosecuted till date. And he ends with this one: what a country. This is coming from John Amodu. Thank you so much, John Amodu. Do you want to take 10 seconds, Aria, to react to one of those stories he talks about before we move on to the next topic?
Human community survives on food importation. We are importing food. What quality of food are we importing? Are they healthy enough for people? Are they been certified as good enough? Are we not going to be buying the medically mutilated food items? You understand? We are putting our citizens' health at stake if we have to rely on imported food. And by the way, how much exportation are we doing that we not be spending so much more on importation? It's not going to balance out. Why don't we face our insecurity issues, return our farmers to the farm so we can grow our food? I mean, we're not getting it.
It's not rocket science, right?
No, it's not. You're just not getting it. And you keep asking yourself, from the vintage point of an outsider in government, you can see lapses, you can see flaws. You can see routes that should have been taken that were not left, that were left untaken. Decisions that should have been taken that were not taken. And you wonder, what happens when people get into power? What impacts on them? What affects them? That they now begin to mess things up and they mess things up and they continue defending what they are doing as if there is no alternative.
Wow. Now, there are 3 more stories that I want for us to quickly take a look at before we go this morning. This first one is, or one of the stories on the front page of The Guardian. It says, subsidy not gone as federal government confirms 5.4 trillion naira spent on petrol. Does this tickle your fancy, Aria, in any way? Subsidy, I thought President Tinubu said subsidy gone. Now we are hearing subsidy not gone.
You know, there's a saying in Yoruba, I wish I can teach you, but I don't know how to. He says, Kogu, 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 Akogusi become.
That's
Whatever comes from wherever, we end up somewhere on ground. When we complained that the way and manner that the president announced subsidy removal, some people felt they were turncoats, that we are just being critics. The question is, the situation was like a man getting into a new office, a new appointment. You will expect the man to get to the office, sit in, meet with the directing minds of the enterprise, ask questions, let him be fed with their operational systems and whatever. Then he can start taking decisions. But we had a president who in a haste, off-handedly, forgetting that what he was saying will impact massively on the lives of 230 million people plus. Here we are. I mean, now we were being told by the finance minister, which for me is a confession now, that so much money has been spent on subsidy. So, does that not show you that we've been floating, that we're not making any sure steps, neither are we progressing? Because if that has been so, the same government has spent 90 billion naira to subsidize Hajj. How do we place all of this side by side to now see that, oh, we are doing well, or we have hope, or there's a future? It's not looking good at all. And we are not doing things that will make it look good. I would never have expected, that with the president declaring that something is gone, that behind our back, over 4 trillion naira has been spent on subsidy again. So, what are we talking? Why are we paying 700 naira for fuel? Why are we not still paying our 120,000 naira? 120 naira per liter. Because we, the people, are the one carrying the can. We are the one paying for all of these things. It's unfortunate.
It is, because what you're saying now is opening a can of worms, So Nigerians are paying premium for fuel, and then it's still being subsidized as well. So what is it though? Is the more you look, the less you see. Can we just swiftly move on now? This one says, I have no regret proposing full council autonomy. That's coming from the Attorney General. That wasn't the one I wanted us to take. This one here, ranching resurrects naughty north-south sentiments in Senate. Now, I told the viewers and the listeners that I was going to have you talk about this, talk about grazing routes, what happened to them, and how this particular issue raises sentiments anytime it comes up. And this time around, it's causing wahala in the National Assembly, in fact, in the Senate. What's your take on this?
There is no way it will not. Without any intent to be boastful, I have been to a few countries abroad, and I've seen how animal husbandry is being done. Why do we remain rooted in the 1940s style and not change? I have seen ranches that had hundreds of thousands of animals in situ. And let me also tell you, my knowledge of biology and maybe some animal science told me that the animal that will walk from Sokoto to Lagos and probably walk back before they will be brought here for sale in a truck will no longer have nutritional values for the consumer at the end of the day. So we're not, and a situation where we now bring these animals to destroy investments of farmers, and then when so many people have been killed and have been made at the altar of feeding animals, we cannot continue like that. It's an abnormal, and it has to stop. It's a personal business. You cannot turn your personal investment to a national headache. It has even become a migraine. It has to stop.
A migraine.
Yeah, we can't continue like that.
Let me ask you. You remember former President Muhammadu Buhari tried to come up with this thing called Ruga, but the state's governors wouldn't buy it. Would that have solved the problem? It's similar to ranching, right? This thing you're saying about ranching.
Ruga was a hidden mechanism to overtake, or rather to take over and seize local indigenous lands from indigenous people.
That's your opinion, right?
Animal husbandry is a personal, it's like poultry business. It's a personal business. Because we want to run the poultry as your business, will that affect me in my own community or in my village? Go and do your whatever in your place. Okay.
So you're saying? Are you saying herders should remain in?
If that was a criminal intent of the president of the Mayor Buhari.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Are you saying that herders should remain? In fact, there are Yoruba herders, so not just the Northerners that are herders. So are you saying that? No, hold on. Let me ask a question. Are you saying that the Northern herders, which are the majority when it comes to what's it called now? Yes. Are you saying that? Yes. Are you saying that the Northern herders should remain in the North? And then their customers who want to patronize them should always go to the north to buy the goods.
Let me tell you, if you want to buy fresh fish, you either go to the seaside in Ekpe or you go to seaside in other parts of the city or the state. So nothing is different from that. If they know they cannot manage, they cannot generate enough grass for their animals in the north, they can as well do another business. Okay, it's also whereby because the north is more of arid desert zone, so they will not have enough grass. Okay,
exactly.
But the reality is that each time they bring them down south, they cause more harm. People see a friend of mine came from Austria with 50 million naira and put up a plantation somewhere in Delta State. Another one came, he did banana. It was cows, these same cows that finished those things. Those guys are back in Austria managing hypertension, which they never had before they came to invest in Nigeria.
That's unfortunate.
I knew a woman somewhere in Iseyin. She had a petrol station. She came from UK. They killed her simply because the little farm that she had behind her petrol station, animals were sent there and they destroyed everything, and she complained they killed her. So many lives. No human community will fold its hands and allow these things to continue. It is not right. It's not acceptable and must be rejected wholesale.
Okay, so
animals cannot be taking people's farms to destroy their investment. It's not done. Why those who follow the animals around are carrying AK-47? Any statement of a complaint, people are shot. Some are hammered, some are cut off. It can't continue.
So this ranching you just recommended, should it be stationed only in the north? Or the ranches now? It shouldn't just be in the north.
Here in Lagos, you can have your ranch in Lagos. The terms and conditions will be spread out. Your animals must remain within your ranch.
Fantastic.
Any animal that comes out of that ranch and strayed is illegal and should be seized and never returned to you for 2 years. I mean, it's a personal business. For crying out loud. We have mechanics all over the places repairing vehicles. When they became nuisance, blocking roads and all that, government made rules and created mechanic villages. So they ended that. Yeah, so
fantastic.
The same way we didn't allow mechanics to turn our streets to dead zones, we cannot allow people who want to do animal husbandry business or whatever agri business to now turn our farmlands into modern sports. No.
So it's a private business. It's a private business that can be well regulated. Is what I hear you say.
It's not like it's a national. It's not a national business. Whether you are Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, or whatever, you want to raise animals, go and get a land, fence it appropriately, and keep them there. How you feed them is your personal business. Your headache.
Fantastic. Let's move on now. This is the last story we're going to take a look at before we go. It's talking about former Governor Nasiru El-Rufai, and it says Kaduna Assembly indicts El-Rufai for 423 billion naira graft and orders arrest. I mean, I've been trying to wrap my head around this story. What's your take, though? Can you picture El-Rufai being arrested for fraud? Well, let me not put words in your mouth. What's your take?
You don't have to worry yourself. That headache is making, and I banish it from your life. Okay? Now, let me tell you, we've had a reverend father sent to jail after being governor for stealing money.
Yeah.
We've had a so-called Alaji sent to jail for stealing money after being governor. after presiding over a state. So who is El-Rufai? El-Rufai is a hustler. He's a businessman like any other person. He is a professional who also wants to make good. The people who say they want to investigate him, I don't want to think that they hate him. They must have been observing his governance method, and they must have seen some loopholes which they are now cashing in on. Otherwise, he has nothing to fear. If he's not put his hand in the cookie jar, let them investigate him. If he's not guilty of anything, he will be released. I mean, they will come out with a clean bill for him. But if he's guilty, come on. If you can do the crime, get ready to do the time. That's the only way we can change Nigeria. We cannot continue this way. To see an ordinary council chairman who served for 4 years building 5-star hotel. I mean, we must ask questions. We cannot continue this way. If they said they took so much loan without the state assembly approving the loans, that is an illegality. Okay? So if you have done any malfeasance or any misdemeanor and it's found culpable, then let them bring their report, take him to court. And then the judiciary decide.
I think I think your contribution is fair enough, because what you just said is let the investigation go on. If he's found guilty, well, he's guilty. But if he's not found guilty, then he'll be let go. I mean, what?
They are not the ones that will pronounce judgment on him. Just to investigate and present the report, which the judiciary will look at before making pronouncement.
True.
So that balances the position now.
It does.
We say democracy is on a tripod.
It does. And this is a very safe place for us to land this morning. You've been fantastic on the show. Thank you so much for coming on board this morning.
That gave me so much headache now. You see now? Because all the solid people that are sorry that will generate my thing for an average Nigerian, of which I am one.
It's gonna get better. I see. Just like you banished headache, I'm banishing the headache from you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And do have a.
And I also believe that a new Nigeria is possible. It only takes me and you and every one of us getting involved.
I agree. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being a part of the show this morning. Have a good day. Thank you. All right. Well, that has been Ario.
Fully packed.
I'm telling you,
So
very
much.
vocal, and we do appreciate your, your gracefulness to always come on board whenever we call on you. Thank you so much, Tolu. Anything to say before we wrap up this morning?
Today has been so much, a lot. So I understand the whole headache he was talking about, but yeah, let's just look forward to the whole, finance minister releasing those templates by 2 p.m.
Absolutely.
today. So other than that,
we will stay on that story, and we will continue to dish out updates to the viewer and the listener as they unfold. Thank you so much, everybody that contributed to the show today. Our regular listeners, let me quickly acknowledge them. Those of our listeners that sent us a message: Nnamdi Oye from Mogba, John Modu from Ogun State. Thank you so much for sending your messages via WhatsApp. Why don't we do this again, same time, same station? Until then, though, bye for now.
And take care.
Yep.
Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m.